Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle by Florian Wortmann called Non-Consecutive Killer 2. This was a puzzle that Florian submitted to me. I don't believe I got Non-Consecutive Killer 1, but this is like the 364th video I've done for my channel. So if anyone who's watched me for a while knows that my memory is terrible, so who knows? It's possible it's done. I didn't check my list. So what else is going on the channel? Caging Constraints was released this week, a few days ago. So that is a pack of 45 Killer Sudoku with variants. This puzzle would have been a candidate for that if it had been submitted to the pack. I don't know when this came out. This could be an older puzzle. So yeah, this is the sort of puzzle that you may get in that pack. So if you like Killer with variants, then yeah, check out the pack. The feedback so far has been incredibly good. So, and there's some puzzles in there that I am very proud of. So, but less about that and more about this puzzle. Non-Consecutive Killer 2 by Florian Wortmann. So how does this one work? So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have non-consecutive, which means orthogonally adjacent cells may not contain consecutive digits. And basically what that means is if this cell, for example, was a 3, none of those cells could be 2 or 4, because that would mean that they would be consecutive. So a 2 here, 2 is consecutive to 3, doesn't work. 4 is consecutive to 3, does not work. We also have killer, so the digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Digits cannot repeat within cages. So that's what we have. There is an obvious thing standing out on this, but let's restart and give this a shot. If you wish to try this puzzle yourself, link below, and the normal YouTube stuff, please remember to like the video and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I hate saying that, but it's a thing that YouTube really wants me to say. I get notifications when I don't. Woo! Anyway, so yeah, there's a thing jumping out at me, which is keen-eyed regular viewers of Sudoku solving channels will recognize this pattern. And what this pattern is the digits in the yellow cells must be exactly the same digits as the digits in the blue cells. And if you've never seen this before, that may seem like magic. If you have seen it before, I'm about to explain it and jump to the bit where the highlighting goes away. So, the reason that is true can be proven the following way. If we look at this column, that must contain, by the rules of Sudoku, the digits 1 to 9. This column must also contain the digits 1 to 9. This box must contain the digits 1 to 9, and this box must contain the digits 1 to 9. So what we know is those cells will contain 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, 4 5s, 4 6s, 4 7s, 4 8s, and 4 9s. Now, what we want to do now is we want to use a thing called SET, or set equivalence theory, or SET, to do another set of digits 1 to 9 and then figure out the equivalences. So for example, if I mark that row, that will be a set of the digits 1 to 9. That row, and that row, if I highlight all of those, I have 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 in yellow and 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 in blue. Any cell that is in both yellow and blue, if I remove from each set, then those sets are still equivalent. Because if this cell ends up being a 3, if I've got 4 sets of 1 to 9 in both yellow and blue, and I remove the same digit from each, then they are still exactly equivalent because I've removed exactly the same thing from both. So if I've got 4 3s and in both, and I remove a 3, I just end up with 3 3s in both, and all the other digits are the same. So anything that is both yellow and blue, I can remove from both, and that is showing me that these 16 digits, those 16 digits are exactly the same digits as those 16 digits. And the reason I believe this is going to be important for this puzzle is I can look at those two cells because I know the totals by the killer cages of all of those cells, and I know the total of all of those cells. So I'm pretty certain I'm going to be able to get what the total of those two cells is going to be, and they see each other, so that might be useful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add up all of the digits in the ring, and this is called the Fistemafel ring because it was popularized. I don't know if it was discovered by, but popularized by Fistemafel. And I'm going to see what they sum to. So 13, 10, 13, 10, 8, 8, 15, and 9. So they are 86. It's faster for me to do it with a calculator. Meanwhile, 21 up the top, 15, 24, and 22 is 82. So the difference is these have to sum to 4, and the only way to do 4 in two cells that see each other is those are a 1-3 pair. Okay, so that is useful. Well, what that means is I can never put 2 in any of those cells, because if I put a 2 there, it will be consecutive with a 1 or a 3. So I can't put 2 in any of those. And I can't put 2 in a 21 cage because the other cells would have to sum to 19, which you can't do in two cells. And I can't put 2 in a 13 cage because the other cell would have to be an 11. So I can't put 2 in any of those. 2 goes in there. It's not quite the same over here. I can't put 2 there, but I can put 2 in any of those 3. So that's not quite as powerful. This is the point of the video where I get paranoid I did not start recording. I don't know why that happens. Well, I can't use 1 or 3 in that 11 cage. So there's only one way to make this up. This is 2, 4, 5. And the 4 and 5 have to be kept apart because if this was the 2, this would be a 4, 5, and the 4, 5 would be together. So I have to put the 2 in the middle so that the 4 and 5 are not allowed to play with each other, because in this puzzle, if they play with each other, then the world explodes. They're like matter and antimatter. Now, maybe I can do more with some of these cages. Like this 13 cage can't be 6, 7, but it can be 4, 9, or 5, 8. The 10 cages, there's no consecutive option for that. This 13 cage can't be 6, 7, it's 4, 9, or 5, 8. But the order is known. This is 4, 5, and this is 8, 9. Because it has to be 4, 5, 4, 9, or 5, 8, and I can't put 4 or 5 there. So that becomes known. 9 can't be 4, 5. 15. Oh, 15 is also known. This has to be 6, 9 because I can't use 7, 8. So that means I can't use 6 in here either. So it can't be 4, 5, and it can't be 3, 6. But it could be 1, 8 or 2, 7, I think. 8 cage, not restricted. So any odd cage is going to have, any 2-cell odd cage is going to have an option removed, but an even cage won't, because there's no consecutive digits in it, because the halfway point is going to be the same digit, 4, 4, and then you go to 3, 5, and 3, 5 aren't consecutive. So an 11 cage, for example, can't be 5, 6. So there's only 3 options for these 11 cages. 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7. Which means 1 has to go in one of those. And 5 has to go in one of those. And 6 has to go in one of those. So 1, 5, and 6 are in those. I don't know that that's helpful. Well, look, 5 can't go there and 1 can't go there. So this 10 cage can't be 4, 6 because 4 is in the box. it has to have a low digit. And that can't be 1, 2, or 3. So the 1, 2, or 3, oh, and it can't be 2. So this is 1, 3. So this has to be 7 or 9. And that can't be 9. Because if this is 9, this becomes 8. And 9 would be next to 8. That doesn't work. So this is 7, which means this is 9, this is 3, and 9 goes with 4. That is really, really cool. That's a nice way of doing that. These are 1, 6, and 8. Can't put 1 next to 2. That is very cool. So I now can't put 4. Oh, I never could put 4 in here. Actually, these can't be 6 because there's a 6, 9 pair looking at those. So 6 has to be up here, which means I can't put 6 into either of these 8 cages, which means they are 1, 7, 3, 5. So these are 1, 3, 5, and 7. They have to be, which means I can't put 1 or 5 in those. This is a 1, 5 pair. So now this is not 1, 8. This is a 2, 7. And this is takes 2 out of there, makes that 2. And this is 3, 8. And the 8 up here means this is the 3 and this is the 8. This 21 cage now can't have 8 in it. So this is 5, 7, 9. That's not 5. And this is, well, this 3 makes this 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. And this is a known triple. 1, 5, 8. Well, I can't put 1 in a 13 cage. So if this is 5, well, this is a 5, 8 pair. So that takes 5 out of there, which takes 3 out of there. Well, I could have taken 3 out of there anyway. This is not 7, so this is not 1. One, 5, 8 here means this is 3, which I could have got by that 1, but that's okay. Now I can't put 1, 3, 5, or 8 in this 15 cage. So no 1, no 3, no 5, no 8. So it must have a 2 in it. Because without 1, 2, or 3, it becomes 4. I can't use 5, so it'll become 4, 6, 7, which is blown the total. It must have a 2. So it's 2, 4, 9. And yes, I am using the killer calculator that is provided in Sven's Sudoku pad because it is much more interesting for you to see me do the logic than it is for you to see me sitting here doing math in my head because I'm slow at it. It's 2, 4, 9 or 2, 6, 7. And I can't put 4 in either of those cells. This is 2, 6, 7 because of the non-consecutive. So this is 2, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4 because of those 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9. So this 10 now can't be 1, 9, can't be 2, 8, and it can't be 4, 6. This is 3, 7. So this becomes the 1. This becomes the 7. This takes 1 out of there and 7 out of there. This is 3, 5. Eight can't be next to 9, so this is 5, this is 8. 7 can't be next to 8, so this is 3 and this is 7. There'll be non-consecutive stuff everywhere that I am missing. So I can't put 4 in either of those two, for example. What about this column? Well, I need to put a 2 in this column, and I'm not putting it next to the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this 24 cage can't have 1, 2, or 6 in it. Not sure. They're not 5, so this is a 1-8 pair. That's 7, that's 1. Ah, that's 5 because 4 can't go next to 3. That is 4. It doesn't see those. But that 5 means that's not 6. So do I know more about these? I don't think that I do. Well, 2 can't go in any of those. So 2 is in one of those. If that's 2, that's 9. One is up here somewhere, but that doesn't seem particularly useful. 3 has to be down here somewhere because 3 can't be in any of those. So one of these is 3, 8. Ah, and 7. I can't put 7 down here and I can't put 7 in here. So one of these is 3, 8. One of these is 4, 7. So this is not the 2. This is the 2. This is 3, 8, and 4, 7. This is not 3, so this is not 8. This is 6 or 9. So I know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 and 8. But that does mean I take 4 and 8 out of this, and this becomes 3, 5, 7, and 9. I can't put 5 or 7 next to the 6, and that 3 is making that 9. So 9 comes out of all of those. This becomes 4 because 8 can't go next to 9. This becomes 8. 8 takes 7 out of there. 2 can't go next to 3. I am terrible at this sort of stuff. But it's fun. This 8 looks up, making that 1 and that 8. Hang on, that's 3 digits in 2 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have a 6. So this is the place where 6 goes. So this is the 7, which makes this 5, which makes this 3, which makes this 7. The 3 takes 3 and 8 out of there. So this is the 4, 7. I can take 4, 7 out of there. Now, this 9 makes this 7, which takes 7 out of those. Okay, let's look at these columns because I'm not seeing anything obvious over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Well, that's not 9 because it's next to 8. And in here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, there's no 6 here because it's next to 7. There's no 2 here. Okay, I've only got 3 digits in this column though. So is it Sudoku somewhere? Like 7 has to go in one of those 2 cells. So I've got this weird little X-wing on 7s. So 7... Oh, okay. Right. 7 can't go down here, but 7 there. Right, that's 4, that's 7, which means that's 3 and that's 8 because I couldn't put 8 next to 7 or 3 next to 4. Right, whichever way this went, that was going to resolve it. Ah, they don't quite see each other. At least if they do, I'm not seeing it. But this gives this down to be a quadruple in the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Well, there's no 5 there. There's no 8 there. This is 4 or 9. That's because of the 5 from the 6 and the 8 because it just sees an 8. These are the same digit. Quads down here. Maybe. So 1, 4... Oh, no, 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 no. This 5 looks over. This is the 1, this is the 5. The 5 can't go next to the 6. So this is the 9, this is the 6. This now becomes the 6. 6 means this is not the 5. 6 means can't go next to 7. So this is the 2, this is the 7. Now... this narrows this down to be 4, 6, or 9. Okay, what about this one? 1, 2, and 8, but 1 and 2 can't go next to each other. So this has to be the 8 in the middle to keep the 1 and the 2 apart. 8 can't go next to 9. 8 looks up, making this 6, which looks down, making this 4. This is weird. Oh, it's the same here. I've got 1, 2, 6, but I can't put 1, 2 next to each other, so the 6 has to go in the middle, which means this can't be 5. And if this was a 4, then this would be a 5 and that would be broken. So that has to be the 9. This is standard non-consecutive tricks, but can be tricky to spot. At least I'm finding them tricky to spot. Now, is it this column? The thing is, I still only have 3 digits. I've got a quad here, but it doesn't see anything next to it. Although that can't be a 4 anyway, because I've already got the 4 in the column. That 9 means that's not a 9. So there's 4 or 5 or 8 or 9 in here. If that's 5, that's 9, and that's 4, and they're consecutive. That can't be a 5. That's tricky. So this is now 4, 8, 9. That becomes 5. That's 9. That is quite tricky. But this is now 4, 8, 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 1, 3, and 5. Well, that's not 1 or 3 because it's next to 2. So that's the 5. There's no 5 in here. 5 can't be next to 4. This becomes the 9. 9 can't be next to 8. This is the 4. This is the 8. I could have separated the 8 and the 9 as soon as I got that triple, but I didn't. This is the 1, 3, and this 3 resolves it. That was a tricky spot, and there may have been an easier way to do it, but I got there. Now, what do I have now? How about I place that 7 by my pencil marks? This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, and 8. And that 5 gives me the order. 8 and 5. The 8 looks up, making that 1 and that 8. The 1 looks down, making that 2 and that 1. This 9 looks down, making that 6 and 9. And that's probably been there for so long that there's been some sort of weird gravity effect. The 5 looks down, making that 3 and 5. And now these columns are down to pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I always triple check because my scanning is terrible. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, 5 is wrong. 5 was right there. So this is 1 and 9, and that 9 gives me the order. That's the 1 and that's the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 and 6. And 6 can't go next to 7. So that's the 4, that's the 6. The 4 makes that 5 and 4. And this one makes that 2. And this is 1. And that is Non-Consecutive Killer 2 by Florian Wortmann. So this was sent to me as approachable. I think the non-consecutive stuff is tricky, but the set break-in probably, if you've never seen set before, this may be intractable, but it is one of the most well-known, probably the most well-known set forms. It is one of the most well-known set. The Fistemafel ring is the most well-known type of set. I can't think of the word, but it is the people will recognize this more than any other set, I think. And the fact that every single cage, except for this 11 cage, is on the ring and the whole ring is, I think that is definitely a something that if you've even heard of set before is probably going to be discoverable by most people. So as an approachable set puzzle, it's probably as close as you're going to get. That's very, very cool. Thank you, Florian, for sending that one through. Really appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. And as I said, if you're looking for more interesting killer puzzles, including one by Fistemafel himself, the person who discovered this, then please check out the Caging Constraints Puzzle Pack. Links below. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And as always, good luck with your solving.